No, no, no. It's going good, man. It's going good. We finally got Christine on the show, the first sister of the Leaf to come on the show. Christine, how are you, dear?
I'm great. I might be the first sister of the leaf on the show, but I'm not the first pair of boobs.
Ah, zing, bazinga. Look at that. 2 seconds into the show, and she's killing us already.
That's probably the best I got the whole show.
That's all right. That's all right. Listen, we can take it. Don't worry about it. So, again, Christina is, for you guys, if you don't know it, she's in a hotel room. She's on the road. She's going to tell us what she was up to and what she was doing. Well, what she can tell us what she was up to and what she was doing last night. And we're just going to take it from there. So, Christina, where are you? Tell everybody what's going on. Oh, she's not.
Right. Thank you. So, I'm in Amarillo right now. Yesterday at Good Karma Cigars, they had a Room 101 event. They had the OSOX out there, and Matt Booth was out there, and Edgar Hoyle was out there. They were all doing their thing, and it was a great time. We were there pretty late, probably till 11 o'clock. The shop actually closed at 6.
Wow.
So a bunch of we all hung out, went out, grabbed some food, went out, drank.
Nice. Good. Sounds like a good time.
Good time.
Well, listen, for people who may not know you, and again, I say this every show, I'd be surprised if there's someone who doesn't, but why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself, how you got into your website and what you do on your website, and we'll take it from there.
Okay. My name is Christine Morgan. I'm the lovely lady of the stick. I've been smoking cigars it'll be 7 years this May. I right from the get-go, actually, right after I finished my first cigar, I immediately lit a second one. So I was just really into it from the start. It just consumed me. And that actually is pretty much all I can talk about now. My coworkers make fun of me all the time. But I started doing a blog, and pretty quickly after that, Cigar Robbie approached me and invited me to do my segment on the show with the Cigar Robbie radio program every Saturday, which that's actually how my hybrid started as well. And that eventually it just, I started going to events. I went to IPCPR, and eventually that led to my website. So I didn't want to just have a blog. I wanted to have the name lovelyladyofthestick.com.
Right. And you just redone your website, correct? It's been revamped. Well, probably a few months ago.
No, it just came out in August. It's new, totally new.
It is new, man. I can't get nothing right today.
You're thinking about another female, aren't you?
No. Now stop. Behave. Listen, it's 3 minutes and you're already dogging me twice. I'm sorry. I thought you revamped it. You changed it. You know who I get my information from? Rob. I knew I shouldn't listen to that bastard. He stirred me down the wrong road again. He is. Well, speaking of the hybrid, tell everybody about what you do with the hybrid. I think it's pretty fascinating, and it really, in my opinion, when you change what you change on, and I don't want to go in, I want you to tell them. I think it really changes the whole outtake of that particular smoke. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit of what that is and what it details, and go from there.
Well, actually, how I got into that, I decided doing the radio show, I kind of wanted to do something a little different. Anybody can go on there and talk about cigars. So, and reviews, they're so everybody's palate is different. They're so subjective. So I just kind of wanted to do something a little out there because I'm a little weird anyways. But so I took the wrapper off of a cigar and just smoked the binder and the filler. Mm-hmm. And while I was smoking it, I thought, you know what, I wonder what this would taste like with this wrapper or that wrapper, Mm-hmm. And so I decided that I was going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you find when you're taking the wrappers off, are you doing it with a particular size cigar? Are you staying with the same size cigar? Go ahead.
I'm switching it up.
You're just switching it up?
Yeah, it depends. I've done some Lanceros. I rewrapped the Ashton VSG Enchantment with the PSC4 wrapper, too. I did. So I'm playing around with some different things. I did the Digger as well, so. Yeah. I haven't had a bad one yet. I put a lot of thought into it. I honestly, I just don't randomly say I'm going to put this wrapper on that cigar. I sit and think about, okay, what country of origin, what's the binder and filler, what are the tastes that I'm going to get from that. I mean, I put a lot of thought into it because I don't want to make a cigar that's going to be nasty. I don't want to waste, 2 cigars or more, depending on what I'm doing. So.
They can't hear you, Mike. No, in the chat room they're saying that they can't hear you at all from the get-go. So everybody can hear me in the chat room, but you can't hear Mike. You can hear myself and Christine, right? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I hear you. They say they can't hear you. Mike W's fine. Okay, hang in there, and we'll get it going. But in the meantime, we're gonna keep rolling until the putz fixes his side.
I got it fixed.
He got it fixed.
So.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, it would help if I actually put my microphone in the settings. Yeah.
Get back to and you'll really know your play.
Yeah, exactly.
Christine got me all flabbergasted, and I just forgot to do all that stuff. I was gonna say I should have, if I would have known before the show. If I would use my brain, I could have sent Christine some devil's weed to rewrap.
Oh, I don't think there's no saving that cigar. I don't care what you did to it.
You're not the first person to suggest that.
Yeah. So, Christine, do you find when you change the wrapper, what's it changing on the cigars? Are you getting just a different wrapper flavor, or are you getting more strength, or is it totally changing the cigar when you do it, the flavor profile?
It just really depends. I was having a similar conversation with Dave Wagner from Oliva last week, because he asked me pretty much the same thing. He asked me to put a percentage on it, actually, how much do you think it changes? And I told him, I said, it depends on the cigar, it depends on the wrapper. I mean, it can change it 100%.
Right.
And you guys could probably agree with that just from your experience with cigars that you've smoked, the different wrappers. I mean, it can make a good cigar terrible or terrible cigar good. I mean, it can be 100%.
Right. Let's see, John.
But the biggest
go ahead, dear.
The biggest change that I actually honestly had was I rewrapped the Drew Estates Acid Toast.
Okay.
And I put a Mascaro wrapper on it. That was the biggest change that I've ever experienced. And honestly, I wish I'd done that one first out of all of the hybrids. But it was incredible. I mean, you have this cigar that's really sweet and tastes like freaking marshmallows.
Yeah. And
then you put the Oscuro wrapper on it, and I got a lot of spice. There was some woody notes, and there was some sweetness too, but it was really, really faint. Just on the tail end of the palate. The smoke was really spicy as well too, and slightly sweet. There was still a little bit of sweetness that hung in there, but it was like 95% change.
Wow. Well, you pretty much, I was going to give you John's question, but he said, what is your favorite customized hybrid of yours, and which one did you like the best?
I have 2 favorites, actually. I rewrapped the KNF with the Oliva G wrapper, the Cameroon. That one was so great that I rewrapped an entire box. I swapped wrappers on 2 boxes. And incidentally, the Habanero tasted really good on the the Oliva G as well. And then recently I rewrapped the Namakubi, the Papachulo. So I did do a little smaller stick too. I put a Maduro wrapper on that. That was fantastic. Love it.
There you go, John.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat room saying bacon.
Yeah.
The bourbon cigar.
Now, I'm curious with when you rewrap the cane, did it reduce the power of the cane at all?
It did. I mean, because you have that Cameron. It gave it a little bit of sweetness, a little bit more, a little woodiness. I mean, but it was great. It was so perfectly balanced. I thought, you still had some undertones, of the spice, but it was so balanced. It was everything that I could ever look for in a cigar. That's why I rewrapped the whole box.
Wow. Now, how long does it take you typically to change one of these wrappers on a cigar, put it back together? I mean, how long is that whole process?
To do two, like, because usually I'll just swap both.
Yeah.
You know, it takes 10, 15 minutes. It doesn't. I have it down.
Matt wants to know. He said, "What did the Oscuro wrapper? Where did it come from? Off of what cigar?"
It was the Pinar del Rio.
Okay, Matt, there's your answer. See you all on Twitter. See you, Barry. Have a good one, man.
Barry's leaving us.
Yeah, Barry's leaving us already. He's
Now,
gone.
Christine, I wanted to delve into the woman aspect, where with you being a female cigar smoker, I mean, what are your perspectives? You know, when you go into a cigar shop to an event, I mean, does basically everybody's eyes just fall to your chest and they just kind of think of you differently, or is it? You know, I mean, you know, I didn't know any other way to really put it, but you know, or is it more? Yeah, or you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, they think, okay, you know, she's there smoking a cigar, and you know, I go talk to everybody. I just walk on. I do. I try to talk to everybody there because it's so funny. And my mom could tell you this too. She was actually in a cigar shop with me when I was back in Baltimore for Christmas. She went with me to Broadleaf, and she told me later that, you know, you go in there and yeah, you're a chick picking out cigars, and you know, they probably assume that you're buying them for husband or boyfriend or, you know, dad or whatever. And then you get up to the register to check out and you start talking about cigars, and they go, you know, and it's funny. It's really, I went to Great Smoke or Big Smoke in Vegas in October, and I was walking around in my, you know, my red dress with my cigar and my rum. And it's, you know, I had a couple of guys on a couple of occasions, they wanted to take a photo with me. And, I mean, they just thought I was there to decorate the floor. And then I started, you know, asking them about their cigars and started talking to them. And, you know, they were all like, whoa, she knows what she's talking about? What the heck? You know, I mean, that's what they all say.
Now, do you think is it
Go ahead.
easier or harder for like yourself, like a woman, with doing the website, with talking to reps and manufacturers, and do you see any difference in that aspect rather than just the, you know, your normal smoker?
You know, I'd probably say yeah. But it's honestly not. I think anymore it's getting a little better. I mean, we have women that, you know, Jenny Garcia, Jessica Padron, Lindsay Heller, and of course Teresa, Smoking Hot Cigar Chick, and they've kind of helped pave the way for the rest of us in the industry. So it's not so strange anymore to see women in the industry. There still is a little bit of that shock value, especially, you know, when you know what, you know, when a woman knows what she's talking about, because there are a lot of women that do it just for the attention. And I mean, it absolutely is an attention getter. You know, you see a beautiful woman smoking a cigar, you know, it's your first thought.
Right.
Now you guys probably want to know what, you know, what she's smoking, but you know, a lot of you know, a lot of it is not going in.
It's funny because Mike and I were mentioning before the show, and Matt just mentioned it. I think you don't see a lot of female reps out there.
No.
And I think a lot more female reps would help, you know, as far as the Sisters of the Leaves. And because, like you said, there are a lot of women out there smoking, I think, more than people realize.
Right.
You know, it's
right.
like... Go ahead.
And I've heard a lot of people say, you know, they'd buy more cigars from a woman, you know, anyway. And when I go to shops, especially if it's events, you know, I like to go. I get in the humidor and I sell cigars, and I don't know. I really think that it would help the industry a lot, you know, help women a lot if we could get more in there. But honestly, I think a lot of the companies are hesitant to do so.
Yeah. Well, Tom nailed it. I was going to get to that point. I look at it like women in the cigar industry smoking cigars. It's kind of like women with Harleys. You know, they all started out usually on the back, right? But now you look, and there's millions of women riding Harleys now. They're not on the back anymore. And I think the more people get educated over time, I think you're going to see more women like yourself out there leading, where they're going to be reps, and they're going to, I mean, you got people out there already, women making cigars. And I think it's only going to grow and get bigger. But again, I agree with you. It's hard. It's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is, you know, a woman has to put herself out there. And that's the hardest thing out of everything, because, you know, some people aren't going to be so receptive. And, you know, I've gotten some of that, but honestly, you know, I don't care. I just, you know, I hardly even notice. I just pretty much do what I want to do, and, you know, screw the rest.
Now, well,
So,
what about, like, with me, you know, I get this a lot, but,
There we go, flipping the hair.
you know, with guys, or even, you know, like you said, women putting themselves out there in the cigar industry, do you think it's almost like in a lot of other industries, sex sells, where, you know, if you dress sexy, say, you know, and go out to a cigar shop, you're going to have more reception than if you just dress in a business suit or sweats in a t-shirt, or the Red Sox suck. But, or, you know, I mean, this is the whole barrier I see, and I see it a lot in the cigar shops, even when I go to. We actually have a female manager at the one cigar shop over in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And, you know, it's, if she wasn't pretty or dressed real nice and things like that, I just don't think that she would get the respect that she does.
Right. No, you're right. The sex does sell, absolutely. I mean, it's plain and simple.
Well, and that now I'm choking, man. Whew.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Huh. Whew. Cold shower. No, it's that's like you were saying about with the manufacturers, you know, being a little tenuous about getting more female reps and everything else. And that's why I was thinking along the lines, maybe that's part of it, where, you know, they want their cigars to be front and center, not the person selling or introducing them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are some legitimate concerns when you get a woman around a group of men. You know, I don't think I need to go into any detail about that, but
Right.
the fraternization that can occur could be bad for business. I mean, every company just has to be really careful, you know, and get the right woman in there. And I think that's why, you know, you don't see that many. You know, I don't know if you guys know, I've interviewed with the Leibovitz twice. I was speaking with Dave Wagner. He told me he's interviewed 4 women, and I was 2 of them. Or 4. He had 4 interviews with women, and I was 2 of them.
Right.
So I mean, you know, the women, first of all, you know, they aren't getting out there, and, you know, second of all, it's all about finding the right ones that are gonna, you know, have that focus, which I do. I just don't have shop experience, so.
Dave,
Right.
that bastard, he didn't interview me. Son of a bitch. He moves to Florida, and that's it. Pfft, see.
Well, Christine, let somebody asked in there. I believe it was Cigar Lifter. I could be wrong. It's farther up now. The chat room's going crazy. But what were some of the first cigars you actually smoked, and what are some of your favorites now?
The very first cigar I ever smoked was the La Gloria Cubana series R7.
The 6.
Then I lit up the La Aroma de Cuba, which I miss those original blends. Those were absolutely fantastic. I seriously started chain smoking cigars, but I smoked a lot of those. The LFD L300 Oscuros. I smoked a lot of Partagas Black, which now I smoke so much that I cannot pick one up ever again. I see one and I just, you know, I mean, and they're good cigars. I just overloaded myself on them. The Fuente Cuban Belicoso Sun-Grown, I smoked a lot of those. I smoked a lot of spicier cigars. And now I have, I love the Jaime Garcia Reserva Especial. That's an awesome cigar. I have a box in my humidor that has like crystals all over it.
Nice.
Fantastic. Really, really great wrapper. I love the Toronto Vault. That's a great cigar. Have you guys tried that one?
No, I have not.
I did.
What did you think?
I thought it was all right. I only had one so far. I found them at my local shop, and it was something new. I just snagged one, just to give it a try. So I didn't really delve into it or anything. I was sitting around. I think I smoked it at the shop over there, so I didn't pay it much attention.
Yeah, see, I have to, when I do my reviews, I have to sit down and do nothing else. Because otherwise, if I'm at a shop and I'm talking and I'm trying to review a cigar, I won't notice anything. Then it becomes more about the people that you're with in the cigar. I can sit in the shop and smoke a crappy cigar, and it'll be great because I'm with awesome people.
Yeah.
Probably won't even notice it's a crappy cigar.
Bring you a devil's weed, you'll notice.
So do you tend, Christine, to lead towards the more medium to full, or are you a mild to full, or are you just all around with cigar smoking?
I used to be more medium to full, honestly, until I started reviewing cigars and doing these hybrids. But ever since then, my palate has just completely evolved. And it's just because, I know you guys like to, if you don't like a cigar, you're going to tell everybody that it sucks. I kind of have a different point of view. I try to review cigars as objectively as possible because the way I see it, they're not for me. They're for everybody else.
Right.
I'm trying to put the information out there. The notes I noticed, the burn, the construction, all that kind of thing. Just kind of a general, objective report of it. And just because of that I put myself in that place. Okay, this might not be something that I would normally smoke, but there's a lot of people out there that don't smoke cigars as strong as I do.
Right.
So I'm gonna put, and I've been able to appreciate more milder cigars because of that. I mean, it's really opened me up.
Right. No, I agree with you. I mean, I try to do the same thing. I always tell everybody at the end of my video that if just because I may like it or not like it, you still need to try it.
Right.
I tend personally to stay away from the mild end because it's just not for me. That profile that's in the mild cigar is just something. After 24 years of smoking cigars, I don't enjoy it as much. Not that there's anything wrong with it. There's an example. There's some great mild sticks out there. I just prefer a more medium to full body cigar that's gonna give me a little punch in the face, that's gonna give me some more complexity, and that's just me. But again, I agree with you. I tell them go try it, whether I like it or don't like it. Everybody's palate's different. Like you said, it's all subjective. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong.
Absolutely, and that's a lot of people, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves. I mean, you hear so many people in cigar shops just arguing, over notes that they've noticed, or your palate sucks, my palate is king, and I just hate that, and it happens quite a lot. There's no need.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nobody has a right. Nobody. I don't care how long you've been smoking or reviewing. You don't have a right to question anybody's palate.
Right, and I've actually noticed, just through talking to people, it seems like everybody's palate is like, I don't know, destined or whatever you want to say to notice certain things, like pick up certain notes more than others. Like I was talking to somebody last night, he notices more citrus first of all above anything, in cigars, whereas I pick up more like the cinnamon or tea, things like that, and sometimes like currant or black cherry, that kind of thing. But that's my palate. I mean, everybody picks up something different. I know a lot of people that'll pick up, cedar, oak, those woody notes separately.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think a lot of what you drink and eat has to do with it too. What you can recognize. I mean, if you don't eat a lot of cinnamon, you're not going to know what the hell cinnamon tastes like. So how the hell you pick that note up? But you're definitely spot on there. Let's dabble a little bit about Cigar Robbie. You told a little bit how you got on there and what you're doing, and let everybody know when you're on there, when it starts. People would like to know. We would like to check it out.
It is Saturdays. The Cigar Robbie show starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. You can listen at WTMY.com. My segment starts at 3:15 Eastern. So I get to pretty much do this and then do that. I call in. I talk about my hybrids, which I'm supposed to be talking about one of my hybrids today.
Yeah.
Usually I try to do those the most, and they always tease me about sending them bacon bourbon cigars. But yeah, this is a hybrid that I'm doing today. It's it's my my crossword series. I don't know if you saw my post on Twitter, the picture. It's the Room 101 Connecticut and the King Daytona. This is my most recent one, and this was actually a suggestion from Matt Booth and Brian Shirley, which of course Matt Booth from Room 101 and Brian Shirley from Studio Tobacco. I was talking to them, and they've both actually gotten to smoke some of my hybrids at events of theirs that I've attended. I've brought them for them to try, and so they got this crazy idea that I should swap their cigars. And they actually told me to do the Namakubi and the Daytona, but they're both Sauvignon wrappers, so I wanted to do something different. And I already smoked the Daytona with the Connecticut wrapper, which that was actually really interesting. I talked about that on the show, on the Cigar Robbie show last week. I'm digressing from our original
Okay.
But I love Connecticut with a little bit of Ligero in them, but this one had, obviously it's straight Ligero. There's a lot of Ligero in that cigar,
Right.
and that Connecticut wrapper really brought out that Ligero. It really, really did, and that was the thing first and foremost that I noticed. And I had a lot of people ask me, well, wouldn't it, mask it, or wouldn't you get more woody notes? No.
Right. That's the
No.
misconception with Connecticut. Everybody just thinks it makes everything mild.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. And so this one, I'm looking forward to trying this one. So
Oh,
I can't speak right now, obviously.
your
Right.
hybrids. Have you ever tried anything like with the Hoyo de Nicaragua?
Yes, I have actually. I did I don't know. I'm trying to show you a picture of it on my phone. I was a little crazier than that. I did. I took the La Flor Dominicana, the L300, and I took off the wrapper, and then I put a Connecticut wrapper on the first third, and on the foot and the head, and then I put a Sun Grown in the middle.
Uh-huh. Cool. Yeah, I saw you on
How
your
was that?
website. You had a barber pole, I believe, that you did.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. See, that's what it looks like.
Oh, cool.
we
Yeah.
can see. Yep.
Now, how did it?
You want to show off that case, that new case you got there?
I got this at the event last night. No thought case.
It's the Room 101 case.
Freaking awesome.
Now,
Pretty
how
cool.
did the flavors change in that cigar? Was it like I said, this with the Cabanetta, when I smoked that, when you get to that the darker wrapper, I mean it just boom changes. Is that the experience you had with yours with the three different, that it just boom changed each time?
Well, honestly, the reason that I did that one like that because La Flor has the Artesanos de Tabaqueros, which has the it does the opposite way. But it went like the transition was so boom. I wanted to make something that was, you could still notice the taste, still notice the difference, but it was more smooth. And that's why I did the L300, because it had that Ligero. It still had that spice in there, so that balanced out the Connecticut through the Sun Grown and then back through the Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it wasn't in your face.
Nice. Well, Tad's got a question for you. He wants to know, he said, have you ever done a Lancero hybrid? And if not, how about doing either a Rodrigo Lancero or a 262 Paradigm Lancero?
Okay, I have. I've done two. I did. It was my favorite Lancero is the LSE double hair Lancero, and actually both my hybrids were with that one. And Lanceros are actually my favorite size. And I only do actually the hybrids on cigars that I love. I don't mess around with cigars and just about yet. I've just been playing around with the ones I really enjoy and have a lot of smoking experience with. But so I have smoked my fair share of those Lanceros. The Connecticut, that one again, it was it was all a Haro. I mean, there was still a little bit of creaminess and woodiness that picked up towards the end, but it was really good. And then I put the Vanny wrapper on it, which that one, it had more of the woody notes. The spice wasn't as intense. But it's funny though, because you think unwrapping these cigars that the wrapper leaf is going to be different sizes, but it's really not. With the Lancero and the one that I did the Connecticut wrapper, it was the what did I use? The Perdomo 10th anniversary champagne is the Connecticut that I used. There was like this much difference, just a little teeny tiny difference in the size.
Wow.
And the Habanero leaf, I actually got that from Brian Sholey at Texas Cigar Fest. He gave me some leaf to take home and play with. So I gotta cut it all up. And
did Brian give you a donkey punch? Didn't
No.
he? Oh,
Special.
you gotta smoke one.
He did give me a Chivetta though.
He what?
He gave me a Chivetta, so I have one now to cut up my leaf.
No, you'll have to ask him next time you see Brian. Ask him to roll you a donkey punch. Serious. I know you're thinking, oh my God, the dirty-minded bastard. No, what? Walt,
yeah. So aren't the people in the chat room?
Walt got us kicked off iTunes because of that. So, but yeah, that's the cigar. Ask him to roll you one if he still can.
I will.
Now, John G had the same question that I was going to ask you. With your hybrids, have you received anything, like the manufacturers, has anybody given you any grief about taking a wrapper off one of their cigars and putting on somebody else's or anything else?
No, actually, they've all been nothing but supportive about it. They sit down and ask me questions. Why do I do it, and what did I think? And I know, while I was talking to Matt Booth at an event, this is right after. Actually, it was the day that I did that Maduro Namakumi. I was telling him about it. He was like, "I want one. Make me one. I want to try it." So I did. I got out there. Actually, it was actually that day. Got out my tweezers and all my stuff and made him one and handed it to him.
Nice.
And he smoked it. Consumers don't do it at a manufacturer level. It's not really that extraordinary. They do that when they're blending their cigars all the time.
Yep.
So, but for a consumer to do it, it's different. Not a lot of people like to overthink it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I do. I just want to create a good experience for myself. I've learned a lot about cigars. I've learned a lot about the blending process. But they've all been wonderful. And I'm surprised nobody's been like, why are you messing with a good blend already? No manufacturer has. I've had one person that I walked to. It was actually at Outlaw. He recognized me from Facebook, and he said, "Hi, I know you, and I hate your hybrids."
Nice.
And can I take a picture with you? Yeah. No, he's a. Yeah, that was actually pretty.
There's
funny.
always haters.
So,
Always haters. Don't.
well, no, he was like, I don't get why you're messing with a good cigar, but whatever.
Yeah.
I still want to smoke a cigar with you, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
Well, that's funny. Matt's got a question. He said, if people want a hybrid mix or something, can they pay you to handle the swap? Or would you consider selling your hybrids?
Oh, I wouldn't sell them. I've handed some out. Like I did that entire box of the King G, as I call it, and I handed a bunch of those out. I like to share those. But yeah, I'm gonna start kind of doing some stuff like that. I want to start doing some contests on the site.
Nice.
And get some of that stuff out. So I actually should have sent you guys some to try. I didn't even think about it till like Tuesday.
That's okay.
It's all right.
Blonde.
So will we start seeing more of the hybrids now? Are you going to be are you going to be doing more on the YouTube? Or are we going to see more of the hybrids on your site? Or are you going to cross post them?
No, I will. I'll do that. I really should. I know I've kind of neglected my YouTube channel for a while. Last time I did anything was on my way to Big Smoke,
Yeah.
and that's not my best video. I was really tired. I'd been driving for about 16 hours. So, but yeah, no, and I'm trying to do. Cigar Robbie wants me to do hybrids every single week, so there's going to be a lot of those. There's going to be way more of those than actual traditional reviews.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Because you were doing them live at one time. I remember you were doing them at night. You were doing a live show. Is that going to come back, or you just going to?
I don't know. I work nights now, so it got kind of hard for me to do that, to do a live show, and pretty much only time I have to do it is a Saturday night, and who wants to go sit and watch you stream on a Saturday night? I wouldn't.
Right.
People who have no lives like me.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched. I mean, I watched.
They do it while you fold the laundry and iron and.
Yeah.
That's Monday.
Well, Daniel from El Piante's got a question. He said he may have to send you some to try to do a hybrid on his cigar, but he said you may have answered it. How long have you been doing this hybrid thing?
About 2 years.
There you go, Daniel. 2 years.
And I've done probably now going on 30 hybrids, which I do. One of the things that I want to do with my site is I want to go back and document all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have them, videos, some videos and some written reviews, which that's probably how I'll do it. Just some, instead of doing them all. Just some here, some there.
Well, give everybody your web address, Christine. We'll put it on the link when we post this as well, but let everybody know, if they may not know, where they can go and find, your hybrid and your YouTube channel.
It is www.alovelyladyofthestick.com, and my YouTube is the same thing, A Lovely Lady of the Stick.
There you go, guys. So make sure you check her out. We're not leaving yet, but definitely go check Christine out. I think you'll really enjoy what she does with these hybrids, and it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. So keep up what you're doing. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely it is.
Yeah.
It's cool. And I just want to interject here, and I want to say thanks to George Rodriguez Cigars, and Rich from East Coast Cigars for letting us have this ad-free, because with those ads in it, everybody was yelling and screaming at us, so they came on board and were nice enough to sponsor us, so we don't have the ads in the video anymore. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them.
I got a question, Christine. If someone wanted you to do a hybrid for them, they sent you 2 cigars, would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, and I have some that I've been doing with a couple of cigars, and they're funny shapes, so they've been kind of difficult for me to do. I have 2 of them I have left. So as long as if somebody wants to do that, just make sure they're roughly the same size and shape.
Okay. Reason I'm asking is I can't get Wussy Boy over here to try a Cro-Magnon, so I'm thinking if I send you one and a Connecticut wrapper, maybe the Wussy will. But you said it picked up with Lajero, so I don't know. I'm trying to get him to try it, so I'm thinking maybe this will be a way for Wussy to try it.
Yeah, actually, Skip actually asked me to rewrap his cigars.
Look at that.
He wants me to do a hybrid with the Cro-Magnon.
Great minds think alike. See that? Let me pat myself on the back.
Well, have you?
He's great. I like that cigar.
He's doing great stuff. I give him nothing but props. Very smart man. He's doing it right.
Now, with that, have you been approached, like you said with Skip? Now Skip just wanted you to do it for him, right? For him to smoke?
Yeah, and review
Right.
it, and for both.
Have you ever been approached by a manufacturer where they want you to maybe do something and then have it go to production?
Oh no, not yet. Not yet. I say yet. That's a dream of mine. If somebody were to just take one of my ideas, I don't care. They don't even have to give me any percent of profits or anything. They'll throw me a box.
There you go.
And take my idea. Put the Lovely Lady of the Stick on the box, on the band.
That would be a cool band, actually. I have your logo up on the screen now. Everybody can see it from your. I ripped it from your site, by the way. Sorry, forgot to tell you that. But
We give you props though. Don't worry.
Yeah, Tracy customer from Spoken Celluloid, she actually did that for me.
oh, cool.
Nice.
Did that stuff.
Yeah, that would make a cool band.
Speaking of, you slightly mentioned earlier about the Oliva and the rep. Is there anything new that you can talk about? Is it possibility? Is it not?
To be a rep?
Yeah, you got to be hush hush still.
Well, no, I didn't get it. She
Oh,
said no to me twice. No, I give Dave a hard time about that too, all the time.
Dave, what the hell's wrong with you? You should have hired her.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any shop experience,
Right.
so which I understand that, but I have a lot of sales experience and stuff, but the cigar industry is a little bit special, and it's always good to work in a shop, and then you can really understand what these owners and these managers and everybody needs and how they order, because everybody orders differently.
Right.
You wouldn't think so, but just from what I've been talking to managers about, I have learned that they really do. So now, honestly, I really enjoy being the lovely lady of the stick, and that was always one of my concerns. I don't really want to give that up. So I'm gonna continue to do that. I'm gonna go to as many events as I possibly can. That's what I love to do. I love to travel. I've been all over the country this year, from one coast to the other, and I'm gonna try to expand that a little bit. So.
Now, what about
But no,
other than your hybrids that you make? What are some of your favorite cigars right now?
I love the Osaka. Love that cigar. I'm hating that it's limited release. Probably smoked like 4 of them yesterday. The KNF Lancero, that's another really good one. The Tranio Vault that I mentioned earlier, that's another good one. There was a couple Savinellis that came out of the trade show that I really like. The Dos Campeones, the Coraje, and the Sixto. Those were actually both really good. They had a 20th anniversary too. That was really good. Steven did some great things with that company. That's absolutely fantastic cigars. That guy, he knows his stuff. He's actually working on his own line right now. What's some other ones? I know I have like all these Room 101 cigars in front of me because I went to that event. So, but I love the Fuente Cuban Belicoso Sungrown, the Ashton VSG Enchantment. That's been one of my favorites, for a long time. So, I like some spicier cigars. But when I first started smoking, I used to smoke, these huge cigars, which was such a cliche for female cigar smokers. You see a lot of these women that, like the Cañones. I smoked a ton of those when I first started. Casa Fuente, I'd smoke those every day. I love those.
Now, what about the size? What you like the Lancero size better than most anything?
Yeah, that is my favorite size. I do. I like Robustos too. I gravitate to those or Toros a lot. Like when I'm going to a shop, that's usually what I'll get. I like to try all the sizes. Because there are differences in the flavors too, of course, with all the sizes.
And that's and you brought up earlier, like with reviews and doing a review, that's one of the hard things too, because I know, I've reviewed a cigar that I absolutely loved in a certain size, but then smoked it in another size and absolutely hated the thing. It was just awful because people were yelling at me about, how could you like this cigar? It's like, well, you got to have it in this size, and yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah, like the Namakubi is actually the perfect example. But the Papachulo is my favorite one out of the whole line. The other ones are good, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about the Papachulo that just gets my palate going.
Never tried them.
Oh, sorry.
Never tried them. Yeah,
a little short.
Just never found them locally. I just picked up a regular Room 101, the 808s.
He lives out in Mormon's country, Christine. There's nothing around him but sheep, and that's about it.
Well,
you know what? Don't give me any excuses. I live in Arnett, Oklahoma. Okay, until this trip, my closest cigar shop is 3 hours away. Oh. Now it's 2. So.
Yeah, but he can't drive. His wife won't let him. He's got to wait.
He can't drive because he is the wife.
Nice.
Yes.
But no, well, it's actually, you were saying about Baltimore with your mom earlier, and one shop that's actually as close to me as Lancaster is the Humidor down in, was it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a great shop.
And I'll go down there. I went down there for Pete Johnson event and, different things like that. But, yeah, it's just, you know, it's hard to find. A lot of the shops don't get the new items in quick enough because they still have the old stock on their shelves, and it's hard to replenish when you have no room.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm spoiled out here because we have Outlaw. Outlaw's just a 6-hour drive. I say that like it's nothing. It's not. I drove to Vegas. That was 15 hours. Like driving to Kansas City is nothing. But they have a fantastic humidor. Their events are incredible.
See, Ted's got a question for you, Christine. He wants to know when you're smoking. Do you have any particular libation?
No, not really. I like rum. I like coffee. I like Diet Dr. Pepper. Whatever. It's for me. It's just kind of whatever I feel like at the time. I don't really delve too much into the pairings. Although that bacon bourbon was incredible.
We've heard that a few times in the chat room. Bacon bourbon. Somebody else asked about that, and I can't quite remember who it was. I think he left. But anyways.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So,
what's anything new coming up with you other than getting your site back up and going and videos and everything else? Is there any?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to do more of that. Since for a while there, I was going back and forth between nights and days. I was like a zombie. So now that all that's leveled out, I don't have to work as much. I just got a promotion, so I get to work less hours. So I can focus on stuff like that a little more and get to more events. So now I'll have more weekends off. Finally.
Okay. Hey, Tom, here.
So.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tom said, "Show us your boobs." He said, "I'm talking to you, Mike." So, hey.
Yeah.
He wants. I don't have boobs. I have a man chest. This is chest. This isn't boobies. Sorry, I can't show you boobies. I don't have boobies.
He promised to creep me out. He hasn't done any creeping at all.
Who, Tom? He's been behaving, actually. I'm very pleased to say that Tom's been very well behaved. I was scared. I'm thinking all the shit I saw on Twitter this week. It's going to be. The only thing he said is send him your clothes. That's the worst thing he said. So he's been well behaved. Tom, I appreciate it. You're a good man. Look out!
Yeah, I don't
he has the
you guys
hair.
to be a little more wild. Come on now.
He has the hair for the clothes. That's why he wants them.
That's probably it. Yeah, John G's like, no, he hasn't. He hasn't behaved. I don't know. He's been pretty well behaved. I mean, he's worse on Twitter this week.
Yeah.
I thought he was worse there than he is here. I think he's been very good. Been a good boy, too.
We all were. Or I was. I'm bad.
But, yeah, I mean, we're getting close to the hour mark here. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about, Christine, that we haven't touched base on? Go ahead and shout it out.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'd really like to see a lot more women in the industry. Actually, I did want to bring up, there's this girl that, Guido up at the West Side Humidor in Wichita. He sent me, Guido. He sent me a tweet a week or so ago telling me that I should follow this girl, Julia Lights Up. And she's new to cigar smoking. She is really new. And this blog it's all about her experience. And I love it. It's fantastic. She's so funny, and she just really puts herself out there, not only as a female, but as a new cigar smoker. I mean, she's I don't know anything. Right. And, she asks everybody for help. And, like Smoking Hot Cigar Chick, she's commented, and of course Gordon's commented, and that's her shop up there in Wichita. But, everybody should follow her. First of all, she's fantastic. Help her out. She's going Julia Lights Up.
All right, there you go, guys. Everybody follow her. Go over there right now. Get on Twitter and follow her.
And she's fantastic. I'm actually...
I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah, there you go. I'm in the process of interviewing her for my site. That's one thing I like to do. I like to talk to other women, and just get their opinion and how they feel it's like to be a woman in the industry. The first one I did was Christy Lane. She's out of Chattanooga. She's Smoking Butterfly on Twitter. Had the pleasure of, interviewing her and getting her opinion on women of the industry. And I agree with her. The temperature's really, really nice right now. We're in kind of like the middle of a transition, I think. You see more and more women, especially college age, getting into cigars. It's not just a rite of passage for men anymore. it's a rite of passage for starting to be women too, but which I think is fantastic. So, but
Now, do you also
I don't know where I saw.
see the stereotype about the flavored cigars with women?
You know what? A little bit, yes. But honestly, I have seen more men smoke flavored cigars. Believe it or not.
Yep.
Actually, at this event that I went to last night, this guy couldn't stop talking about the Drew Estate's natural dirt. While he was talking about it. He kept trying to get me to take puffs off of it, which is another one of my pet peeves. Like the puff pass that people do it. Ugh. Yeah, we went to after we went to have some entertainment after the event last night, and there was somebody sitting there. I was sitting there smoking my cigar, and he was like, "I want to puff off of your cigar." I just looked at him like, freaking crazy.
You wanted to puff off of your cigar?
He just wanted to see what it tasted like.
Okay.
And I've seen that at even really reputable establishments. I won't mention any names, outlaw. They just there was a group of 8 of them where they all had cigars. Every single one of them had a cigar, and they all would puff on it and passed every single one of them around. Like there were 8 lips on every single one of those cigars. They just take a couple puffs and pass. It was.
Herpes, the gift that keeps giving.
Right, or the
Wow.
right under the nose, and then they put it back in the box. Yeah.
Yeah, good etiquette.
Oh.
I could see if you're new to the industry and mistakes happen, you go in the humidor and you do some mistakes that happen. But
The worst. Oh,
yeah.
the worst.
Don't put it to your nose. Don't put it in your
Guys are like
mouth.
this. And shoving it up their nose, and then they put
And
it
then they
back
put
in the
it
box.
back.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Or no, yeah, no, smelling the cellophane. I love it when people do that. That cracks me up. They put it with
Smell-
I was actually
It's
one
like,
of the reps was telling me a story about this guy. He got I can't remember what cigar, but it was in a tube. He cut it, lit it, smoked a little bit of it, took a couple puffs on it, put the cap of it back on with the little foam thing that's in the end of the tube, and said, "Oh, this is going to be good in about 10 years."
what?
Yeah, with it still lit. It was still lit. It was
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna taste like ass. Is what it's gonna taste
Right,
like, buddy.
burnt foam and
Wow.
Yummy. There's a hybrid for you.
Yeah.
no. I need to start I want to start infusing some more cigars. Honestly, you asked me what I want to do. That's one thing I want to do. Infuse more. I want to do. There's a coffee. Well, it's a double espresso vodka that Van Gogh makes. I want to infuse a cigar with that. Which when I do that, okay, when I infuse my cigars, I do not like to infuse the wrapper. I take the wrapper off and just infuse the binder and filler. Because I don't want it to be. I don't want the taste to be on my lips. I want it to be
In the
in the
yep.
smoke.
Right.
Mm.
Nice. Well, everybody, it seems like they went over and they followed her. So we just sent a tweet out on Stogie 411 to everybody better follow Julia Lights Up. So definitely we'll check her out and see what she's up to. And,
She's going to get all these emails that all these people are following her on Twitter, and she's going to be like, what the hell?
she's going to get freaked out quick. Wait till she gets certain messages.
She'll
be like,
cancel
"Oh,
cancel her
shit,
Twitter
what did
account.
she
She'll
do?" Yeah. You might want to forewarn her.
I know I will. I was just gonna say that I need to send her a message to let her know that I gave her a shout out. I mean, there really is a lot of women on Twitter. Especially Twitter.
Yeah.
Like Jess Bain is on there, of course, which she hasn't been that active lately that I've seen, but she used to be on there all day long. And of course, Teresa and Lindsay Heller and. Who am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting a bunch.
And there's so many. There's really, like you said, there's really a lot that people don't realize. But I think
Not
part
as
of it, a
some-
lot of them aren't that active on Twitter either. So when you're not that active, people tend to forget you.
Right. Cigar
Unfortunately.
Baby's another one.
Yeah.
There's a bunch in Florida.
Yeah.
Cigar Girl Florida, which is Nada.
Yeah. You
She's
follow
on there.
Bonita Smoke Shop because Jackie's
Jackie's
always on. Always great to talk to. There's quite a bit out there. So definitely looking.
Yeah,
up,
it's hard too. I think
Christine-
a lot of people, like with the Twitter thing, especially when you're new, you get on Twitter and it's really cool, and then all of a sudden you realize, damn, this takes a lot of time. and then you just kind of fade away a little bit.
Yep.
Right.
No.
I don't want to. I hope they never find out that I tweet at work. We don't have like Facebook or Twitter blocks on our internet yet.
Well, that's about our time, Christine. If there's nothing else you want to discuss or go over, I want to say thank you very much for being the first sister of the Leaf on the show and for taking time out of your day to join us two schmucks and all our fine fellow viewers in the chat room. It's been nothing but a pleasure, and I wish you all the best with the hybrid, with your site, with Cigar Robbie, and everything you do.
Oh, I need some luck with Cigar Robbie. I was just kidding. He was great. But thank you guys. It's been awesome. It was fun bantering all week. I think we were all pretty well behaved.
Yes, it was very well behaved.
Right.
Even Tommy. Tommy, you were well behaved, and now you can stalk her back on Twitter as soon as we hang up the show.
He was crying the whole time, I think. He just promised me.
Poor Julia is in for a show. Wait till Tom gets a hold of her. Account will be closed. She'll be off the internet. She'll be in hiding in some cave.
I will send her a special warning.
Yeah.
About him.
Yeah.
Tom put, I will have her.
Oh, God. We'll find her. He has her Twitter now.
Yeah.
That's all he needs. Just one in.
Oh,
All right,
man.
but yeah,
But
thank you
anyways,
very,
it was
thank you
absolute
very much
pleasure.
for the insights, from a woman's perspective. That was the thing I was most interested in, to hear from an actual woman, who's in the cigars, and see what your perspectives were. So I appreciate that.
And of course, I mean, it's like anything. It has its good and it has its bad. When I first started smoking, I paid more attention to the bad. But, I mean, now I just do what I want. I want to be a part of the industry, and I want to continue to dig deeper in the industry, and I want to continue to help other women that are, I mean, that's why I do stuff like that. This is why I have a website. That's why I go to events, and talking to Julia, I mean, it's been wonderful talking to her and all the other women on Twitter. I just want to encourage all of them to go out and hopefully, me doing what I'm doing can encourage somebody to do something similar. But like Teresa, I mean, Teresa was such an inspiration to me throughout it all. And her and Tim have been amazing throughout the whole thing. They've been nothing but supportive. And I think that's more important than anything else, is not only that the men kind of embrace us in the industry. We're not trying to take over, this little boys club that it kind of is. We're not trying to take away your cigar time with football or golf or whatever y'all do when you smoke cigars.
We hold hands.
I don't want to know what Tom does.
We hold hands and swap cigars. That's what we do.
If you're holding hands, I don't want to know how you're swapping them.
No, you don't.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Okay.
All right,
But
Christine,
yeah,
we thank you so much.
and we need to support each other. That's what I was getting to.
Absolutely. You're
Not only the
100%
men embrace us, the women need to. You know how women tend to be a little bit catty. I've seen it.
Yes.
Seen it in the industry. So we need to support each other if we want to get anywhere.
Yeah,
The most
100%.
important thing I think I need to say.
All right.
All right. Well, we will let you go. Thank you so much again, and you're always welcome to come back.
Thank you guys.
All right. You be safe. Have safe travel. Thank you again.
See you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
All righty. I am here by myself now. And we might let Mike back on here in a little bit once we get the screens all settled here. But I thought it was a really great show. I hope you enjoyed it with Christine on there. It was, like I said before, I was really looking forward to her perspectives on, with the industry, and Mike's back now, with the industry and with the woman's point of view. So I thought it went well. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, no, I think it was a great show. I think she's got a really good, unique idea going with the hybrid. I think it's her own little niche, and I wish her nothing but success. And it was a good show. It was a great show. I was glad to have her on. We're trying to get Teresa on the show, trying to get some more Sisters of the Leaf on. So it'll be interesting and fun. As always, I want to thank everybody in the chat room, because you guys always make the show. You take time out of your life to come sit with us, and really, we appreciate it over here at Stogie 401. So I just want to say thanks to everybody in the chat room. Again, thanks to Rodrigo Cigars and to East Coast Cigars for all your sponsorship and your kindness to us as well.
Definitely.
And I feel like Mike's glasses have prevented me from seeing the soul. I need them, Matt. My eyes are getting so bad. I literally can't see the chat room without it anymore. So I'm getting old. What can I tell you? That's what married life did.
Getting old, hell. You've done past that mark, buddy.
Getting old. I ain't fucking old. Anyway, so thanks to everybody in the chat room. It was a great show. And again, thanks to Christine. Make sure you guys, if you're not following on Twitter, please follow her at Lovely Lady of the Stick. And that'll be it till the next show, which will be, I don't know when. So just look out for the post and we'll let you know when the next show is. Because off the top of my head, I can't remember who.
It's in March.
I think it's Eddie Ortega. Yeah, I think it's Eddie Ortega, the next show. But look for our post. You'll know who it is. So see you guys all later. Cigar Lifter, yes, I'll see you tomorrow. So that's it.
Okay. See yous.